Hello world! Today, in honor of 4th of July, I've got this super easy, fun, wearable holiday 4th of July look for you. Hey everybody, Shelly here, and today I've got for you this eye look, which is intended to celebrate 4th of July, Independence Day in the United States, my personal favorite holiday. And I was browsing through Pinterest looking for an eye look that I could recreate, and one thing that hit me very quickly was that it's kind of hard to pull together red, white, and blue in an eye look so literally without looking costumey. And number two, even the costumey looks that had all this elaborate, stars and stripes and glitter and cool things going on, I can't draw to save my life. So I know there's no way I would be able to pull that off on my eyelids. So I wanted something just wearable, but a little bit more dramatic holiday. I wanted the colors, I wanted the red, white, and blue, and what I finally settled on was the idea that I would just go with sort of a blue smoky eye, get the red from the lip, and call it a day. I've got a little silver to represent the white in our red, white, and blue, and that's what I figured I would go for. So this is an eye look that, if you follow all those rules where you can't wear bold eyes or dark eye colors during the daytime versus nighttime, first off, I'm going to just recommend that you throw those out the window. This is a holiday. Let's get festive. Let's party. Let's go out of the usual. Let's have a good time. Let's not worry about all that stuff. Because honestly, I don't worry about all that stuff anyway. My rules as to how bold or dark I wear my eye during the day is, do I feel like wearing a dark, bold eye today? Same with lips. Same with the rule of if you have a dark, bold eye, you can't have a dark, bold lip. You have to do light lips, dark eyes, or light eyes, dark lips, one or the other. Yeah, I don't believe in that either. So maybe that means I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it means I am just as comfortable with myself and my self-expression as a freaking unicorn. I am freaking unicorn right here. Let's just have fun with this. Let's not play around with all those rules because they're really arbitrary, and if you do, you do you. Do what makes you feel good, what makes you feel like you look your best, whatever makes you feel like you are expressing yourself in the way you feel like expressing yourself that particular day. That's what you do. That's what you do. So, the products I'm going to use today primarily for my eyeshadow are the Urban Decay Naked Basics 2 palette, and that's really just for my crease and my all over color. And then I dug out, I apologize in advance for the fingerprints, but the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum eyeshadow palette. And this palette is so pretty. There's so much good stuff in this palette. I'm usually working with the pinks and the purples out of this palette, but the blues, I decided to check them out and they ended up being perfect. I swatched a bunch of different blues that I've got in my collection before I settled on this, but I found that I liked this as the best combo of like a really true patriotic blue and a dark blue that would go with it. I'm also, for the white, going to use L'Oreal's Infallible, and this is in the shade, what is this? Old Age is a B-I, I'm not going to say it. Liquid Diamond is this color, and they're infallible shadows that are sort of glittery. They go on really nice with some setting spray, or wet if you just want to wet your brush. I'm going to use some Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray. I tend to use, I don't want to say my cheaper setting sprays, but I like to use my Wet n Wild setting spray, which costs next to nothing, as the one that I use to wet my brush when I want to do a wet eyeshadow application. Not that you couldn't use higher end, but I just feel like for this purpose it works perfectly fine, and I'm not going to be wasting my higher end stuff when I would rather have that to set my makeup and set the rest of my face. I don't know. Is it logical? Maybe, maybe not. For liner, I'm going to be using Maybelline's Eye Studio in Blackest Black. This is a gel liner, and I'm going to break some rules. You know me and rules. I've got the Beth Bender Beauty Cat Eye stencil, and you're supposed to use this stencil with eyeshadow, and then if you want, trace over it with liquid or gel liner. I'm going to blow things up, kids. I'm going to use my gel liner directly on the stencil. Spoiler alert, it works fine. Just make sure that you wash your stencil immediately after so that the gel liner doesn't get all stuck to it. But spoiler alert, it works. That's what we're going to rock for the eye look. So let's get into it. I'll show you how I did it. So off camera I applied my NYX color corrector and my MAC paint pot in Painterly. This is a flat shadow brush from Wet n Wild, and I'm going to go into Skim from the Naked Basics 2 palette, and all I'm doing is trying to get rid of the tackiness of the MAC paint pot just so that the other shadows are going to blend over easier. This is my Sephora Pro crease brush. I like this brush. We're going to go back and forth in between Frisk and Cover. So I'm going to start with Frisk just to give a little bit of blending in my crease. Don't forget to tap off that brush. So I'm going to lay this down. On me it's really light, but I just want a sort of easy blend transition color. Now I'm going to go in with Cover and give myself a little bit of a crease. Now of course I have hooded lids, so I have to bring my crease color just a little bit higher than most people, but that's what happens with us hooded lid people. Yeah. Some swatches that I had done to try to pick a blue, and I decided on these, Madness and Prank from the Spectrum palette from Urban Decay. This is a generic flat shadow brush. I think it's Kashima. I got it off Amazon. We're going to start with Madness, and my goal in life here is to go outer corner, inner corner, basically everything except the center of my lid, because that's where I'm going to be intending to fill in with the brighter sort of white silvery shade. So this is Madness, and these shadows are, this is dry. This is these shadows going on dry, so you can imagine how awesome they are if you put them on wet. I'm not going above my crease. I really want this to stop right where my hood starts, because I don't want the blue to be showing in my hood, only to my outer corner. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I've got a little bit of an outer corner, but the blue is not going over where the crease of my eye or the hood is. Back in with that same Sephora brush just to do round one of blending. No additional product on that brush. This is an Ulta brand flat shader brush, their small shadow brush, and this is what I'm going to use to go in with Prank, the darker blue. And I'm going to use this not for like an outer V, but more like an outer 7. I don't know, you'll see. I use it to darken the outer corner, and because I've got hooded eyes and my crease comes down, when I open my eyes, I lose that outer corner. So I'm going a little bit, making a little more of a dramatic sort of 7 in that corner and taking this into my crease just to darken it up a little bit. And you'll see when I look straight on that the only part I really want to be able to see is the outer corner of each eye. You might also notice that I got the inner corner of this first eye, and then I forgot to do it on my second eye, so it's a little off balance. You'll see that when I go back on my second eye here, I have to continually look forward because my hoods don't come down over my crease equally on both sides. So bummer, just keep making sure that everything's even when you're looking upright. We're going in with L'Oreal. This is the Liquid Diamond from their Infallible line. I'm going to use a little of my Wet n Wild setting spray on that large flat shadow brush from Wet n Wild. And check that out. Yeah, dog! It comes out so nice. Nice and silver. I'm going to fill in that center portion of my eyes that I had kept empty, and I'm also going to take it just a little bit toward the inner and the outer sides just so that I can kind of blend into the blue. So it ends up being sort of a seamless transition from the blue into the silver. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. Look how pretty this color is. I really love these Infallible shadows. I hear that they dry out pretty quickly, and I haven't had mine long enough to have any trouble yet, but I don't know. They're about $6 a piece. You can get them even cheaper on sale, and they're awesome. I love them. Yeah. This is one of my favorite blending brushes, the Morphe 330. Yeah, doggy. No product at all on this brush. So this is like phase 1 of blending, and blend and blend and blend and blend. I did not edit out any blending. I did fast forward some in the near future, but I want you to know blending it does take forever. You are going to give yourself carpal tunnel doing it, but you have to if you really want to get the smooth gradient. Look how nicely this brush works compared to the Sephora brush. The Sephora brush is good to like get some color in the crease really quickly, but oh, look how soft this Morphe brush I love this brush. This is my favorite crease blending brush on the planet. It's small, it's tapered, it's awesome. Now, just to help blending a little bit more, I'm going to go back in with Frisk and give just a little bit on the tiny edges. I'm using that Morphe brush still. So where there was no product on that Morphe brush before, there is now just a little bit of Frisk to blend out the top edges of the blue right above my crease. Gosh, I love this brush. Can't even handle it. And I'm not editing out the blending. You have to know the blending must happen. Time for a highlight. I'm using Skimp, and this is just a generic brush I got at CVS that I use for my brow bone highlight. I'm going to put a little bit of this into the inner corners as well, even though I'm going to go in with a different color with that Infallible again. But I just wanted to lay something down in there just to de-tackify in case I missed any spots with my color corrector. Same brush, I'm going in with the Infallible Liquid Diamonds. Now, a person like me probably shouldn't do this and put anything with any kind of blue tone this close to the center of my eye, because as you see, I've got horrific dark circles and kind of concave, nasty, horrible, like valleys of my eyes, but I can't help myself. I wanted it. I wanted some silver blue in the corner there. I know it probably makes me look like I'm dead, but yeah, rules. Don't care. You can skip this if you find that bothers you, if you feel like it's accentuating any dark circles, but I didn't skip it. Now my favorite, the Beth Bender Beauty Cat Eye Stencil, and my L'Oreal, I'm forgetting what it is. I will put the links down below for all the products used. This is my gel liner, and I love this stencil. Now I'm experimenting here. You're not supposed to use it with gel liner. You're supposed to use it with powder and then go over it with your gel or liquid liner, but you know me, I'm like, I'll do whatever I want. I'm doing whatever I want. So here I am going to use straight up gel liner straight onto the stencil. It totally works fine. Just wash your stencil right away when you're done. I just use a makeup wipe to wipe it off. Now, I got a little messy in the corner there. You could see I wasn't holding it quite flush to my face, but we will survive. It's all going to work out in the end. All is well. Also, be sure to wash your stencil because that little bit on the bottom ended up transferring to my face later on, but again, we will survive. So now I've got the main part of the template down of where I want. The whole point of this for me is to help me draw the wing over my crease because my eyes are pretty deeply creased. I'm going to go back in with a Wet n Wild. This is their angled shadow brush, and just use that same gel liner to trace over the parts of the stencil where I got a little bit messy and kind of clean up that top edge. But look how much easier this is to do than doing it freehand. I mean, maybe you're one of those people that can totally freehand this, but that crease of my eye makes it super hard for me. The hood just makes it difficult. So I love this stencil. I think it makes my life so much easier, and there's so much less stress involved in doing a winged liner now because I just trace the stencil and everything's good. So now I'm just filling in some of these spots that weren't quite as dark as the other spots. And then I'm going to go back and do the same thing with my other eyeball. But here, don't forget, wash it. Wash it immediately. Get all of that gel liner off. Ta-da! It works just fine. Then you can go back on your other eye. Now see how the bottom of it's dirty and I didn't quite clean it all off there? That's going to make a mess in a second, but we'll survive. Get the other eye, position it. You're supposed to have your eyelashes poking through the stencil. It's really kind of hard to figure it out at first because you have to have your eye closed to know where the eyeliner is going to end up, but you have to have your eye open if you want to be able to see what the heck you're doing. So that is why I'm having such trouble deciding where I'm going to position the thing. But once you get it in place, it's not bad at all. So I've got it in place now, and I'm going to do the same thing, go in with my gel liner right away, straight onto the stencil. Again, I'm being a little more messy than I should because I'm used to doing this with powder, but as an experiment, I think it turned out just fine. If you paint your hair a little bit like I did, just be sure to wash that off later. Again, I will go back with my Wet n Wild angled shadow brush and kind of clean up what I messed up with the wing on the end and sort of trace over and darken up any spots that I didn't get quite dark enough to begin with. But really, really, look how much easier it is to draw this on when you've already got sort of a template of where everything is supposed to go. I love this stencil. I really can't say enough about this stencil. I will have a link to the Beth Bender Beauty cat eye stencils down below. Just hit the down bar, go hit that more link. You'll see what we got going on. I will link everything. Magic! All of a sudden I have a full face on. And now I'm going to tightline my upper waterline with Urban Decay's 24/7 waterline in black. I already did my other eye off camera and then realized the camera was off. So at least you get one eye, and then I'll pretend to do it on the other eye. Oh, what a difference a bit of foundation makes. Curl the eyelashes, hurt yourself in the process, get a little bit benefit roller lash on there. I am going to be wearing some falsies, but I like to wear mascara under my falsies just so they blend in a little bit better. Favorite falsies ever, Demi Wispies from Ardell, the Naturals. This is the duo adhesive, and the reason I just want to point it out was I had previously been using the white that turns clear, and now I'm using the dark that turns black because I'm almost always wearing black eyeliner. Take a deep breath. Time to put your lashes on. I wanted to put this on camera even though I am not good at putting my lashes on, because I want the whole world to know that even if you're not good at something doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Just do it. Everything's going to turn out okay. It's only makeup. Worst case scenario, you wash it all off and start all over. You know, it's not the end of the world. And another thing, it's really not as hard as it seems. You know, for something that I made a really big deal about it, freaking out about putting lashes on, and it's really not that bad. The trick, which on this particular eye I did not follow, or I didn't wait long enough, wait at least 30 seconds, and I would go 45 before you even put the thing on, because you could tell in the inner corner it wasn't sticking right away because the glue wasn't tacky enough yet. And this is another trick I found on somebody's YouTube. Take your finger and sort of blink your lashes onto your finger to sort of push them up, because while it's drying, that's going to do two things. It's going to help them have nice lift, but it's also going to let you know if they're secure. So if they're not secure, they're going to come off and you're going to know it right then and there. So that's how I like to go about making sure I've got all of the spots covered. Yeah, beauteous! I totally messed up and filmed most of my lipstick too far below the camera line for you to be able to see it, but you get the idea. I'm putting on red lipstick because this is a red, white, and blue video. So there you have it, the finished 4th of July Independence Day eye look, giving an honor to my red, white, and blue here. Hope you enjoyed this eye look. Please give it a thumbs up if you would like to see some more of these style tutorial videos. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would greatly appreciate if you would. Please do. You'll get notifications on your YouTube subscription page whenever I post a new video, which is multiple times per week. Thanks a lot for taking some time today to watch this video and hanging out with me and geeking out and flashing back to the 80s with blue eyeshadow. But hey, we can rock whatever colors we want. Thank you, and good night. Take care.